All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Great Millstone of Virginia. As always, to give you today's news, articles, and lessons due to Spirit and Paya Bashim Shai. But as always, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor due to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. I want to say double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, who and I want to say peace and blessings and salutation to your Akamataz, putting his truth throughout the four corners of the earth, sincerely to the best of their ability, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. But that would say shalom. I just want to make this quick lesson basically about, take your time to pray to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Usually sometimes, we, the scripture says pray without ceasing, but usually sometimes that, we'll be caught up with our own situations that sometimes we forget, taking our time, devoting ourselves into the scriptures, into Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, until something drastic happens, and then all of a sudden now we want to call upon him, and that's not right. We should take our time. Again, praying is part of our heritage. It's part of our culture, man. So, just giving out, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, something, just at least take your time to, sup with the Lord. It's one of the things that we can take our time doing, because if we want Yahweh Shai to represent us, especially these times to come, we gotta, again, scripture says what? Faith without works is dead. So we gotta follow that same apply. Again, when we read these scriptures, just don't read it, apply it, man. All right, and I wanted to get this out. This is Colossians chapter 2, verse 4, and of course I'm gonna start with the King James Version. It says, continue in prayer and watch in the same thanksgiving with all praying also for us, that the Most High would open us unto a door of utterance to speak the mystery of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, for the bonds which I am also bound. All right, that I may speak, that I may manifest as I ought to speak. So what it says, what? To give the mysteries. That's right, because we have the mysteries to understand prophecy. That's the main one. Understand breakdowns. All right. Understand dark sayings that none of the world can understand. All right. We was talking about this at camp last week. How, Yeah, like you say, you have, as we've seen, they got Israelites that have gated communities. They're all one accord, but we know that ultimately they don't have the right doctrine. So basically, yeah, it's beautiful, but when the times to come, when Jacob trouble hit, they don't have the names. They don't have the doctrine. All right? Just because you're Israelite, that's one thing. But if you don't have the name or the right doctrine, all that stuff really don't mean anything. And that's why we got to be grateful and thanks that we have this truth and that we don't take this for granted, man. Because at any time, the scripture says what? The Lord can take the candlestick away from us and give us a bug out and make us bug outs. All right? We're seeing prideful men that had a lot of knowledge. But what? The Lord... Hey, what happened? They got prideful. They got, they got itching ears, man. And now they bugging out. And now they're not here. So I want to get the New American Version Bible. And let's see what that says. It says, devote, all right, yourselves to prayer. Devote means what? Take time. All right. And it says what? To keep prayer, keeping alert in it with attitude of thanksgiving, praying at the same time for us as well, that the Most High will open door to us, will open us, such that for the Most High will open up to us a door for a word, that I may proclaim the mystery of Yahweh Shai, for I have been in prison, that I may make it clear in the way that I ought to proclaim it. All right, that's right. Times to come when some of us are going to be in prison. All right, for the testimony of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right. And this is, like you said, scripture says, well, there's no new thing under the sun. So, hey, So what we're going to be in those times when, hey, we're going to have the mystery and we got to proclaim it. Means to what? To make known. All right. So, the scripture says, hey, prophesy, prove all things. And the scripture says what? Pray without ceasing, man. So, hey, we got to keep praying, man. Like you said, just take time out of your time, just think about the Lord, man. The scripture says what? Let me get the scripture. This is First Peter's chapter 5, verse 7. And it says, cast your cares upon him, for he cared for you. All right. Let's see some other descriptions. This is the AMP. It says, cast all your cares, all your anxieties, all your worries, and all your concerns once and for all on him, for he cares about you with the deepest affection and watches over you very carefully. That's right. Yahweh Hashem Yahshua right now is our Redeemer, and if he loves us, like you say, he's not going to put us through situations where we can't bear it, as the scripture says, okay? Yeah, we're going to go through some things that, may hurt us, all right, whether it be financially, but, you know what I'm saying? But what? Are you going to give up? No, we got to keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? You still here. You still breathing. You still able to go in the highways and byways, all right? You still in this truth and this doctrine. You know what I'm saying? Why stop now? Especially for us that have been here for, decades, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to finish the whole race. The race is not over, all right? This word is not done yet. We got to keep pushing, man, all right? Because, we got to inspire other bros or just watching us, man. You know what I'm saying? We can't be those examples, as the scripture says, of the ones that drew back. Why stop now? Keep going, man. All right? Whatever situation you go to, listen, man, you got to pray. You got to pray out by Shemi Al-Shah, man. All right? We got to be closer than ever, man. All right? Because if you're not close to, to whatever the Al-Shah seems fit. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh Shah not going to put that in the effort, man. And it's only right. And that's why I brought that out, man. We got to pray. Hey, we got to give it all to the best of our abilities. This is some serious times, man. The stuff, the outlet and all the stuff is temporarily that's going to feed the flesh. You know what I'm saying? The flesh is, flesh is going to be the flesh, but ultimately it's of the spirit. And if your spirit is not intact or strong enough, you're going to crumble. That's what it talks about what? The spirit against the flesh. If the flesh overtake you, if the spirit is you're over. So, like I said, I don't want to make this too long, but I just wanted to get this out, man. The point of the video is, again, take your time to talk to Yahweh Shai, ultimately Yahweh Shai Shai, because we can't go through the Father without the Son. Just talk to him. Tell him about how your daily situations, man, to make yourself feel better, especially if you're hitting hard times and you feel like you have no way out. Prayer is the only way. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shai Shai. This is Great Millstone, Virginia, as always, to give you the latest news, articles, and lessons through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. But as always, again, I want to say double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who will teach us the truth. And of course, I want to say peace and blessings and salutations to Akamate. Is pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, sincerely to the best ability, scattered the four corners of the earth. With that, I say shalom.